The eval command can also use a series of matching functions to return true or false values if a supplied condition is matched by returned values. Let's start off with the search match function. The search match function is a function of the eval command that must be embedded within the if function of the eval command, and it will return true or false depending on whether an event matches the search string passed in as an argument to the search match function. Let's go ahead and take a look at an example. If we run a search across our games data within the games index, source type of SimCube beta, we are going to create a new field using the eval command called match result. The match result function will be set to the if function, which will contain the search match function as its first argument. The search match function accepts a string as an argument, the string being a case of the Mondays. So if this search match function returns true, where this string exists in an event, the match result field will have a value of found. Otherwise, if this returns false, the match result field will have a value of not found. If we run this search and we take a look at our field sidebar, we now have a field called match result that has those two values. 48 of those events have a value of found, and we can take a look at those events and notice got a case of the Mondays is embedded as a string within these events. Now, along with the search match function, another match function that we have available is the CIDR match function of the eval command. The CIDR match function will also return true or false. This is dependent on whether the IP address that's passed in falls within the CIDR subnet range. We can see the CIDR range is passed in as the first argument. Field containing the IP addresses is passed in as the second argument. If an IP address stored within this BCG IP field within an event matches this subnet, CIDR match will return true. IsLocal will take a value of isLocal sub2. Otherwise, it will take a value of not local sub2. And then lastly, we have the match function. The match function is going to use regular expressions to match on the first argument. It'll return true based on whether the subject matches the regex. In this example here, we're using the values of the source field. If this regex matches the values of the source field, match will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Match can be made to behave like the search match function. Difference here being passing in _raw as the first argument of the match function and the string used for search match as the second argument. So if we replace this search match function with the match function and we pass in _raw as the first argument, got a case of Mondays as the second argument, we are going to run this search. This will be a valid argument in terms of that second argument there because this is a literal string. These are literal characters within regex. And so what we'll see here is match result will return the same result when using this match function versus the search match function when passing in that same string as the second argument and _raw as the first argument. Search match by default works off of the raw data.